What is going on, guys? Trying to catch a few of you by surprise here. In reality, we're just testing what it'd be like if we did lives at this time. I literally got off the phone with a friend of mine. Look at that. I literally got off the phone with a friend of mine. Got off the phone with a friend of mine out in Europe, and he's like, "Look, man, you need to start going live a lot earlier because you're missing out on people watching you over here in Europe." So I was like, "Huh." Started thinking about it. I said, "Okay, tell you what, I'll go live and we'll see how many people jump on." You guys know we go live every Friday at 7 p.m. CST. This year more than anything, yeah. Look, here we go. EJ says, "Hey, Raul, missed the last few lives with work. I'm in the UK, so I'm doing this for the people in the UK, man, and actually anybody that wants to tune in." It happens to be lunchtime or close to lunchtime here in Texas, but I do know in the UK, I think we're 6-7 hours behind. So yeah, Ronnie F says on lunch, but what up? Nothing much, man. What's up, Miss Freddie Stravia? I'm actually surprised that so many people actually coming on. So, salute Raul in the chat. Number love, man. Appreciate it, brother. You got it. Yeah, I'm testing the waters, trying to see, how many people actually will tune in. Like I said, I just got off the phone with a friend of mine in Europe. Yeah, 1725. My friend's actually in Romania, and he was telling me, "Hey, man, I keep missing the lives, and it's because I got to be up in the middle of the night watching it and whatnot." So I kind of wanted to see Miss Sarah Holland. Thank you for tuning in. Jira Grimm, what's going on, man? Yeah, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to test the waters, see how many people from Europe, actually jump on, see if it's, worth my time to actually be going live at this time. I don't have any issues doing a live on Friday, say this time, and then turning around and doing it later on at night. None at all. Tonight, actually, we're going to be talking about how to pick puppies. How do you pick a puppy? What are the things that you're looking for, right? What are the things that are harder to clear? Also, you got to realize when you're picking a puppy, you're not just dealing with picking said pup, right? You're also dealing with the breeder behind that puppy. And, some breeders are ethical, some are not. So we're going to show you certain things that you can actually do to protect yourself and not find yourself in a predicament where, somebody's trying to take advantage of you or anything like that. For those of you that have recently purchased a pup or those that are looking to buy a pup, this live tonight is probably going to reverberate in a lot of y'all's thoughts, especially if you're going to go buy a pup. You're going to be seeing things a lot differently. You're going to be asking for things a lot differently. One of the things, for example, that we recommend, if the breeder is a breeder that allows you to come on their property. Now, I want you guys to understand this, right? Just because a breeder says you cannot come on their property doesn't mean that they're unethical or that they're trying to take advantage of you. Some have to do it for security reasons, and it's understandable. However, if the breeder does allow you to come into their yard, one of the things I would do is I would ask the breeder at what time are they fed and can I see them when they're being fed, right? It's for a variety of reasons. One, it's going to show you facilities, but in addition to that, it's also going to give you a lot of insight into the pups and their behaviors during feeding time. You're going to know more about who's dominant and who's not and who's who when it's time to feed. So again, guys, I'm just testing the waters out. I've never really done lives at this time, for the exception of, say, on the weekends. But a good friend of mine was telling me, "Hey, man, you got to come on live, say near noon your time, so that the people out in Europe have a chance to kind of watch and pick up." So, we're doing that. Um, so give me some shares, give me some likes for now. We only got 28 people up in here. I'm trying to see if we could break 50. We break 50, then this may be something that I'll start doing going forward. Another thing you want to check whenever you're about to get a pup from someone, one of the things that a lot of people don't really even look at is the nostril, the nose. You got to realize, if you got breakage at the edge of the nose, that's kind of like the nose you want to get. Let me see. There you go. You can see it. You see my girl Sunshine over here. You see on either side of the nose at the bottom, there's like a little slit on either side. And that's precisely what you want to see. Okay. Now, if you have a dog that's brachiocephalic, that's not going to make much of a difference. But you definitely want to have that type of nose, because the dog is not only able to smell better as far as for tracking and that sort of thing, even though our breed is not made for that. In addition, it's actually easier for the dog to breathe, take in air, and also cool itself. So really important, man. Lee Foster, all the way from the UK. Yeah, man, my guy is right. We got a bunch of people. If you're from the UK, go ahead and drop your flags, man. Let me know where you're tuning in from. McBully Kennels. All right, McBully. We got Adam Fields. Good morning, Bully fam. What's up, man? So yeah, definitely you want to look at the nostril. Also, you want to listen to the puppies, especially if they're running around. You want to listen to them breathing. You want to listen for a soft palate. And the soft palate, again, we're actually going to go a lot more in depth tonight, but I'm just giving you little tidbits. The soft palate is one of those things that you're going to hear. You're going to hear the dog. It's going to be something like, when you hear that, you realize that the dog's soft palate, in a way, is actually more bulldog, better yet, more bulldog than anything else. But that does get in the way of breathing. So the dog has to work that much harder, which means the heart has to pump and overcome pressures that weren't really there. So definitely you want to listen to the soft palates. Freddie Stravy says, I look at the H-frame, then head, bone, and feet. This is after learning from the best. Thank you, Miss Stravia. Nothing but love for you. Adam Field says, the nares is most important for a dog to breathe well. Absolutely, man. The bully dudes in the house, you got it. Yes, definitely. You want to see the H-frame. You want to look at the head, the bone, and the feet. But these are some things that are intangible. You can't really see or touch with your hands, but you can definitely hear, right? You can definitely hear. Also, if the breeder has not shown you their what I call the stress test, if he doesn't show you when he dropped the pan and how the puppies behaved and all that, ask him, hey, do you have a pan or something that makes noise? I like to drop it and see how they react, right? So what you're looking for, typically, the majority of the pups should do this immediately when the pan or something loud hits the floor. They should kind of duck down, and then you're going to see they're going to kind of raise their head and look around, and then they might even walk over towards the pan. And that's actually what you're looking for, whether they walk towards the pan or not. What you don't want is, as soon as that noise hits the ground, you see a puppy run straight at it. Yeah, that's not something that you want. Also, the other thing you don't want is when the pan hits the ground and makes that big noise, for a puppy to cower and go all the way to the corner and kind of shake and be away. Why is that? Why is it that you don't want those types of pups? The reason you don't want those types of pups is because dogs will bite for one of two reasons. They either intrinsically have genetics in place for aggression, which you'll see them run right after that pan once it makes the noise, or they're going to bite due to fear. And you don't want a dog that's withering all the way in the corner over there, scared, because those are the ones that are going to bite out of fear. So that's the reason why you're looking for a more balanced reaction from the dog than, say, an immediate response just going after and running. That's another thing. It's instinctive in the dog if he just runs right after it, right, to attack it. IGXL Champ Cooper says 100. Lee Foster says head down, tail between its legs. Well, look, when it initially drops, right? When it initially makes that noise, they're going to do this. They might put the tail between the legs. Not the worst thing. What I'm looking for is that one puppy that's shaking like a leaf and it's cowering. Okay, cowering. Real key. And then the other one that's running right at it, right? That's like he wants to tear up whatever it is that made that noise. Those are the two that you want to stay away from, in my opinion, unless you are a trainer or there's a particular reason why you want this, and you undoubtedly know. But if you're a first-time dog buyer or a new breeder or even a breeder that's been around, these are things you don't want, because if there's a genetic propensity, specifically with dogs that are inbred, you may see these reactions from their pups, right? Yeah, unless you know what you're doing, you really want to stay away from these types of puppies, guys. The other thing that you want to see is when puppies stand on their own and give you a structured look. Some puppies will free stack naturally, okay? Especially when you're new, you smell different than what anything else they're used to. You may even look different, and they may be like looking at you and whatnot. They may be standing in a free stack. When you see them standing in a free stack, okay, that's a good shot for you to evaluate. Now, mind you, you're evaluating a puppy who, at best, at 10 weeks of age, if you're looking at them at 10 weeks, it's only giving you a 65 to 70% snapshot of who he or she can be. That other 30 to 35%, that could go north, south, or even sideways. And not myself or anybody else knows what's about to happen. If you don't believe me, you can see why it is we run a dynamic kennel in my yard. And that is, I've had pups come in, and it's kind of like the NFL. For those of you that watch football, it's kind of like the NFL. When I bring a puppy into my yard, it's a draft pick. The organization thinks that you got the potential to be something. So we bring you on board. That doesn't mean you're going to stay. That means you're going to be evaluated. That means I'm going to be looking at you. Why is that? Because I run a dynamic kennel, which means for every one dog that stays, one dog has to go, right? So for me to push an adult out the door to keep a puppy, that puppy has to show me, right? Has to show me that he is of better quality than that dog that I'm moving away from, right? A lot of people get enamored with a dog and they love the dog. And don't get me wrong, that's what dogs are for. Dogs are the purest beings I've ever come across. But for breeding purposes, your mindset cannot be that of a pet owner. Otherwise, you'll become a hoarder, right? You'll have litters and you won't get rid of pups, and you're going to keep everything. And next thing you know, you got 50 dogs. Man, feeding 50 dogs is a lot of money. So let me get back on track. Essentially, what ends up happening is I have a dynamic kennel. And so when I bring a puppy in and I see that potential in them, I may wait 6 or 8 months before I decide if that pup is truly going to stay or if it's got to go, right? It may show me something before that time, or I may get to the 8-month mark and say, okay, I want another 2 months, and I give myself that flexibility. If I decide for that pup to stay, like I said, I will then have to move away from an adult dog, right? Because I have a set number of dogs that I'm going to care for and that I have the facilities for. Having facilities for 10 dogs and having 50 dogs running around does no good to the breeder, to the dog, to the customer, to nobody. I've learned that you become more powerful in what you can do for the dogs and how you can facilitate for the dogs when you have an exact number and you don't go over that, right? Lee Foster says, your black puppy looks good and confident. Let me talk about that black puppy, and I'm glad you brought her up. In fact, I may just make some videos of her for tonight's live. Our girl Morticia, beautiful dog. She comes from King Pope Kennels. My girl over there, she comes from a 2-pup litter, and her brother passed away. So she's a singleton. So singletons, guys, if you're going to buy puppies that are singletons, or you had a litter and you only have a singleton, you need to be very aware of what I'm about to tell you right now. Singleton dogs do not go through a phase that the majority of pups that are in a litter go through, and that's the bite inhibition stage. If you've ever had a litter of pups, once you take them away from mom, I take them away at 23, 24 days. You may wait for a month. That's fine. But when you take the pups away from mom, usually what you'll start hearing is these little fights going on amongst the puppies. And that's actually healthy. You actually want to hear and see that, because what's happening is they have a weapon, which is their mouth and their teeth. And they use their mouth sort of like how children touch things with their fingers. And so they're starting to learn basically how powerful their bite is. They're starting to learn what is and what is not acceptable. And the way this happens is, they'll bite a sibling's tail. Sibling turns right back around and snaps you right in the snout. Oh, okay. They start learning that there's repercussions for their actions, right? But when you have a singleton pup, you don't have that. Unfortunately, when you have a singleton pup, he or she learns that everything goes their way. What do I mean by this? Think about this. When you have an entire litter, they must all fight to be able to suckle on a breast, right? But when you have a singleton or you only have 2 puppies, they don't really have to compete for food. It's plentiful and it's everywhere. So they start basically learning to be selfish because everything is available to them. They don't know what competing for food is. They don't know what competing with a sibling is, right? Because they never had to. Plus, they don't know what a bite inhibition is. They don't know if they bite the other pup, that other pup's going to turn around and bite them square in the snout, right? So they don't know better. And that's right now when we brought Morticia here and we brought her here to the kennel, I knew that there was going to be a good several months that she was going to have to be transitioned in. And that's exactly what's been happening to her. What's happening is I put her with my best mama female, and that's our female Aruba. Let me bring her up. This is her when she was younger. She's a lot heavier now because we did spay her. And therefore, the lack of estrogen and the hormone change and all that. But this girl right here, she's one of the matriarchs of my yard. And she's nothing more than a sweetheart. So she basically lets Morticia get away with murder, right? But I need that because, for example, it's been pretty frigid these last couple of nights. So I need Aruba to teach Morticia, which she's taught her, how to go inside of the housing where we got heating. Otherwise, little Morticia would just sit out the whole night and possibly even freeze to death. But she follows suit. Wherever Aruba goes, she goes. However, when I let Morticia out with the rest of the pups are very patient. They let Morticia nibble on them and whatnot. But now more and more increasingly, her bite's becoming stronger. She's becoming more annoying, right? Because she's selfish, because she wants things to go her way all the time. And so these dogs are becoming less patient, and they're putting her in her place more and more. And I am happy that this is happening. You're probably thinking I'm crazy, but no, I'm very happy that this is happening. And the reason I'm happy that this is happening is because I need it to happen now and not happen when Morticia is a year or a year and a half or 2 years old. Because by then, I'm going to have a lot of fights in my hands. Because no adult dog is going to allow another adult dog to just come and bite their cheek off or anything like that. But either way, guys, listen, this was just a test. I wanted to test it out, see what it was like to come on nearing lunchtime or around lunchtime here in Texas. And I'm seeing good feedback from my people up in Europe. So I will let you guys know we're going live tonight at 7 p.m. CST. Yeah, we got socialization is great. We got Drippy like always, nothing but love. We're going live tonight at 7 p. CST, and we're going to go ahead and continue this dog talk about how you're going to be picking puppies, what you're going to be seeing when you get to a breeder's facility. And even if you don't get to a breeder's facility, as long as you could see the whole litter together and mom and dad, that's pretty cool. You're able to kind of gauge certain things. You want to see dad's behavior, right? The male, he should be, I don't want to say stoic, because American Bully males are very outgoing. So you're looking for both parents to actually be outgoing, allow themselves to be petted, kind of transmit that good vibe. If for whatever, let me rewind a little bit. Mom, right? The mama dog, she may be a little zealous or jealous that you're grabbing her pups, and that's completely understandable. That is completely understandable. They may be understanding that you're going to be taking their puppy away, and they may not want that. And so I don't want you to think that if the mama dog is not as outgoing as the daddy dog, don't think that there's any aggression issues. It could just be that she doesn't want people touching her pups, and that's fair. All right. Just keeping it real with you. Mac Bully says, see you next time, fam. Have to go to work. You got it, man. Drippy says, 2 likes for you, TV and phone. Hit the likes, fam. You got it, man. Give me some likes. See you next time. Yep, no issues. So, guys, again, I'm just touching bases. Look at that. We're up to 58 people up in here. We only got 2 likes. Give me some likes. Give me some shares. We're going to be coming on tonight at 7 p.m. CST. We're going to finish this conversation. We got so much more to talk about. Make sure to tune in. It's been Raul from the Q. I'll be catching you tonight, 7 p.m. CST.